This is not financial nor professional advice. This video is for entertainment only.
I declare bankruptcy!
Hey everyone, I want to bring you up to date on what's happening with Tesla this year. They had an outstanding year. For the full year of 2021, they delivered over 936,000 vehicles, which is a 87% increase. In the fourth quarter, they delivered 308,000 vehicles. So they are doing an outstanding job. They were the best-selling electric vehicle company in England, and they had the largest market share. They were the number one electric vehicle sold in the United Kingdom, and they were the number two vehicle of any kind. That's the Model 3. Of any kind of vehicle, they were number two with the Model 3 in the United Kingdom. In Europe, Volkswagen still holds the number one spot for the number of cars sold in 2021, and they hold about 15% market share in Europe. Volkswagen does. Tesla is at 14%. They're number two, but their numbers are rising rapidly, and they're very likely to be number one in all of Europe in next year. Tesla's Model 3 was the best-selling electric vehicle, the best EV selling vehicle in Germany, where they were number one. In Sweden, Tesla's Model Y was the number one selling electric vehicle. In Switzerland, Tesla's Model 3 was the best-selling vehicle of any kind, including ICE cars. 90% of the car market in Norway is battery electric vehicles, and the number one vehicle there sold is Tesla's Model Y. The number two vehicle of any kind sold in Norway was the Model 3. Volkswagen's ID4 comes in third place in Norway, but it's a very distant third, so Tesla clearly dominates that market, which is the most electrified car market in the world. Electric vehicles are clearly leading the way in vehicle transportation. In the whole world, worldwide, 6.4 million electric vehicles were sold in 2021. So it's getting to be a major effect. That total is about 3 times what GM sold in the United States this year. It's projected that in 2025, more electric vehicles will be sold worldwide than internal combustion engines cars, the ICE cars. So the electric vehicle production goes up steadily, and the ICE production decreases steadily, and it crosses in 2025 where the electric vehicles are in the majority. To show you how much Tesla is ramping up and how efficient their production methods are, in the fourth quarter of 2021, they were producing an electric vehicle every 34 seconds. Wow. And Tesla is becoming more efficient all the time. It's projected that in 2022, their Gigafactory in Shanghai, China, will increase its productivity by 20%. And in England, they're becoming so dominant in the electric vehicle market there that they're probably going to build a Gigafactory there. So you have a Gigafactory, the original in California. Now you got a Gigafactory in Texas coming online this month. You've got the Berlin gigafactory coming online this month or next month or whenever the German government decides they can do it. And now it's likely that they're going to be building one in England. So literally, they're increasing their productive capacity. They're tripling it and quadrupling it probably. And it looks like Tesla is on the road to success with their semis. You know, they've got those semis so efficient that it's likely that the semi will pay for itself within 3 years just by how much cheaper it is to run on electricity than to run on diesel. They're delivering 15 of the electric semis to Pepsi this month in January of 2022. And my idea and what I'm told is that they're more or less having Pepsi test drive these 15 semis for them. They're paying for them and everything. But it'll be an interactive thing where they can say what they don't like about it, and then they can fix whatever mistakes or things that can be improved before they go into mass production. But they say those 15 will be delivered by the end of this month. And they seem to be less conflicted about the semi in many ways than the Cybertruck. I think they have so many expectations on the Cybertruck, and they're building it so it's like invulnerable, and it's going to have so much technology, and they want it to have the best batteries. And I think they're taking their time because they want that thing to be perfect, at least from a construction point of view. The semi, I think, is more straightforward in that it's clear that you want the most functional, efficient vehicle you possibly can have. And they're also going to be putting 4680 batteries in them, which are such an improvement. And not only that, they're going to have not superchargers, they're going to have mega chargers for these semis. And they're going to install them at the Pepsi factory. I imagine they eventually will be putting these out on the interstate so that, you know, they can transport them long distances. But these mega chargers are the equivalent of having 6 superchargers on the semi at once. So it's 1,500 kilowatts is what I'm told. So it's truly a mega charger. And something that's not highly publicized, but I think Musk has so many side projects going. I mean, they built a cyber quad just for the fun of it, and that thing sold out. They got so many little side projects they could be doing that I think it can get distracting. But I don't think this is a distraction. He's planning to build a pickup that's a smaller version of the semi. And if you give this pickup the same charging capabilities as that semi, yeah, I think that's going to be very popular. But I think it's probably in the stage of being a side project now, but I just wonder if the popularity of that is going to take off if it has the same charging capacity as the semis. They say 2022 is the year of the tiger, and I think with Tesla, you've got a tiger by the tail. It seems like everyone wants to get into the electric vehicle market, the EV market, and Sony has announced that they're going to jump into the fray with their Sony Mobility unit. And I guess they're going to start that in the spring of 2022, although it's mostly a concept and something they're working on. Meanwhile, Apple is trying to develop an autonomous electric vehicle by 2025. And it's so interesting that you have these giants, Apple and Tesla, going at each other. And Tesla is now developing their Pi phone, that's Pi, named for the mathematical equation associated with the circumference of a circle, which pi equals 3.14. So you got Tesla going after Apple's main product. And Apple, I think they have so much money hanging around that they figure they might as well jump into the fray also. And I think they kind of think at this point that their smartphone business in many ways is kind of maxed out, or at least they want to expand on it. But I think it's going to be easier for Musk to emulate the iPhone than it is for Apple to emulate the Tesla car. It's just I think Apple's going to need a partner to do the manufacturing. Now, Apple's big advantage might be with the software. However, Musk's big advantage with the Pi phone, that's Pi phone, is that he has Starlink, because he owns SpaceX and he sends all these satellites circling around the world, and you'll be able to get coverage wherever once they get enough of them up. But Apple doesn't have that same capability. And also, I think he's going to try to make it an environment, an ecosystem where your Tesla car connects to your Tesla phone, which I think will be a lot, which I think will be very attractive to Tesla fans like me. Okay, so we can rave about the phone in addition to his cars. So it's another Tesla event. In other news, BYD, Build Your Dream, whose symbol is BYDDF, is an all-purpose electric vehicle company in China that has built every kind of car imaginable for years, but they're like the GM of China, only they're successfully transitioning to electric vehicles, and they make a good battery, the Blade battery, which is so good that Musk is considering putting it in his cheaper Model 2 vehicle, which he probably will sell mainly in China. But BYD is outselling Tesla in China. Of course, they're the favored company, and they have the right price point because they're going for the lower priced cars. I mean, they can sell these cars for like $25,000. And I think Musk wants to do that, but he's got so many projects. He started from the high end and is going down. And BYD is basically trying to serve the populace of China, which I think the Chinese government likes, and which I don't think the Chinese government will interfere with them, just because the Chinese have communist-guided capitalism, which has never been tried before, and they're trying this. And so it's this unique combination. But that's why they're okay with someone being rich to an extent. If you're too rich, and especially if you don't express the correct political views, you're going to have trouble with them, okay? But if you stay out of their hair and they see you as improving the country, they very much will support you. And that's my experience too with people that have lived in Vietnam after Vietnam became one country, and it basically was as a communistic government, but they have a lot of capitalism going on now, and they more or less say, people that I've known that run businesses there, as long as you don't become politically opposed to them, they leave you alone. Because I think what they found is that the communistic system financially doesn't work. And so the successful countries are trying to have communist-guided capitalism, which it's interesting. I think this is what China's doing, and there's pluses and minuses to that. I worry sometimes that the minuses are going to be more than the pluses, but I think the Chinese will leave BYD alone because they see it as good for the country. So it's interesting that Warren Buffett buys BYD. That also gives me confidence. If he thinks it's safe, it's probably safe. I mean, how conservative can you get? Kathy Wood, on the other hand, she's buying Xpeng, and it is pronounced Xpeng, I'm told. At least that's the way they say it in China, and so I'm going to say Xpeng like the Chinese. But Kathy Wood is buying Xpeng. Now, Xpeng is more speculative. They're very interesting. They're a pure electric vehicle company, and they make helicopters on wheels or flying cars, which shows they have considerable prowess and capability, but it's a riskier long-term growth play. Of course, Kathy Wood would pick the more speculative thing, but after what she's gone through this last year, wouldn't you think she would buy BYD instead? Is it a sin to buy something a little more conservative? I mean, can we bend with the times a little bit more here? Of course, I guess this is like asking Warren Buffett to buy Xpeng, which he probably would never do. But she's doubling down on her strategy and her philosophy, and I'm just holding my breath and seeing how this plays out. We will know in a year's time, won't we? And here's the part where I thank you for watching the video and beg you to hit that like button and subscribe, because it helps the algorithm, and I might accidentally get paid someday. So we'll keep trying to make the best videos that we can for you, and please like and subscribe and help support the effort. That's all I ask of you. And if there's any way I can improve on these videos that you think might be helpful or more meaningful to you, let me know, because I sure want to provide value to the time you spend watching these videos. Thanks a lot.